Trailer park, single wide, same road. Mama's tried thin walls, but inside we'd live different lives after dark. Trailer park. Trailer park. What's up, friends and neighbors? I'm super pumped. I just got this back. It's my 1968 Gibson J50. Been in the shop. Had to have the bridge re-glued. It was kind of coming up off the body a little bit, but other than that, this guitar is super clean. And I've had it for a few years, and it was like the only guitar I wanted to pick up for a long time. And then it started to have these really crazy intonation issues, and I took it to my buddy Gideon Mackey in Lexington, and he went over this thing, and now it's back better than ever. Polished my frets, making it look really good. Luckily, he said I don't need any refret anytime soon, so that's good. But yeah, just had to reset this bridge a little bit so it wouldn't come up. That was what was causing my intonation. You know, when your bridge starts to separate from the body, it actually it's almost like an electric guitar that has a floating bridge. Like it's your intonation can go just all out of whack, and that's what was happening. It was driving me nuts because, as some of you know, I like tuning is like a huge deal for me. It really bothers me. Especially with like older guitars, like sometimes these tuner ratios, like these are the original tuners on this guitar. So the ratio is a little different than some of the more modern guitars, and as they get older, like these get really stiff, so it's sometimes hard to get it like dead in tune. So you really have to kind of keep them oiled and keep them working really good in order to like really fine tune some of the older instruments. This was not crazy old, but I mean 68, it's still fairly old, and these tuners have been on it since the beginning. But it's in really good shape, and it sounds like $1 million, right? So thank you, Gideon, for bringing my baby back. And now I can't stop playing it. I've got a Taylor that's been sitting at my studio for like the last 2 weeks and hasn't been touched. So that may be going up for sale soon. But yeah, man, I got the old fitty back, and I got a haircut. As you can see, my hair is no longer, crazy long. I don't look like Jim Morrison from 1980 anymore. Yeah, so I know I haven't done one of these videos in a minute, but welcome back to Matty's Midlife Crisis. And it's a good thing that I haven't made a video in a minute, because I've been crazy busy making tons of stuff, making art, writing songs, playing shows. It's been a whirlwind the last few weeks, and I've got a ton of stuff to tell you guys. It's just truly amazing. It's such a blessing to be able to do what I do. I'm completely grateful for this. Like it's unbelievable what happens when you reset your life and get focused on the thing that you love more than anything, and that's just making art. Sorry, my brain's kind of like a squirrel right now as I'm thinking about all the things I want to talk about. But we were just talking about tuning, and it just reminded me, like I've been trying to figure out some things that I can talk about a little bit on this channel, and I get questions a lot from younger artists or younger songwriters that are starting to like maybe play their songs out in front of people. And they always ask me like, what are some things that you recommend? Being a songwriter, how do I get my songs in front of people? How do I, do this? How do I do that? I'm playing my first songwriter round, or I'm playing my first show where I'm going to be playing my original music. What's a big tip? And today I'm going to tell you like one of the most simple things that you can do, in my opinion. I see a lot of people do this poorly, and it can really turn people off immediately. You might have the greatest song you've ever written, and this can totally ruin it for you. But so many times I'll go to a songwriter round and I'll see somebody who has a beautiful voice, who's written a really great song, and their guitar is horribly out of tune. And instead of just taking the time to like tune it, like, you know, in this day and age, like most modern guitars, like they're all machine made. Like the intonation on these guitars is usually pretty good, even if it's like the cheapest guitar. You know, like there's a lot of really great cheap guitars out there right now that have great tuners and intonations set perfectly because it was made by a machine, not by hand, you know. And there's no reason not to get your guitar in tune. So get a tuner, and if your guitar is out of tune, tune it. It's okay to like tune your guitar in between songs, or if it's out of tune, just be like, hey, give me a minute, I'm gonna tune this thing. It's not for me, it's for you. You know, make a joke about it. Do whatever you need to do, but get your guitar in tune so people can hear how great your song is. You know, it's almost like you've heard if you hear a mediocre song and somebody has a really great voice, you're like, oh, that's a pretty good song, right? Like but if somebody has a bad voice and the song's not very good, then it's like, oh my gosh, let's get this over with. Tuning is a lot like that too. You can have a great song but have terrible tuning on stage, and it makes everybody tune out immediately. So like, if you want people to tune in, you need to tune your instrument. It's as simple as that. So simple tip, tune your guitars. And if you are somebody that doesn't even, like I've met people that have a hard time knowing that they're out of tune, spend some time on your craft. Spend some time with your instrument. You know, even if it's as simple as just like playing like a chord, and use your ear. Listen for what a chord's supposed to sound like. And over time, your ear will start to know, oh, that G chord doesn't sound right, or that A chord doesn't sound right. That E chord is a little squirrely. And just take a second and tune it. It can make or break a first impression. We've talked about that on this channel before. First impressions are everything. If your guitar is out of tune, you think people don't notice, that is a lie. This always bugs me when people say this, especially guitar players. The audience can't tell. That is not true. Quit listening to that lie. It's an absolute lie, right? The audience absolutely knows when something is out of tune or something is not feeling right, or you're singing off key or whatever. They definitely know those things. So quit, you know, even if they don't know what the technical term is or why they feel off about it, whatever makes them turn back to their phone because they don't like what you're doing, you need to fix it. So work on your craft a little bit. And one of the best ways that you can start doing that is learn how to tune your guitar. Even if you can't hear what tuning is, just make a habit of in between every song, turn your clip-on tuner on and tune your guitar. Even if you don't know what tuning's supposed to sound like, it's at least going to be better than what you're just trying to fight through if it's horribly out of tune. So just trust that tip, all right? Tuning is everything, and it can make or break your first impression. But yeah, like I said, cut all my hair off, got a haircut. I feel so good. You know, I just woke up one day and was like, I'm done with this hair now. I think like a couple years ago, a buddy of mine shaved his beard off. Like he had a big beard down to here, and he shaved his beard off, and then he went to like his son's 4-H. Like he was showing off like a goat or a sheep or something, and he showed up while he was doing his presentation, and he had shaved his beard off, and his kid cried at the 4-H presentation because he didn't know his dad's face because it had been this big beard for so long. But he was just like, man, I just went home and shaved my beard off. That's how I felt. I woke up one day and I was like, man, I'm tired of this long hair. It's gonna go away, and that's what I did. But we had, not too long ago, we played a show in Nashville at 3rd and Lindsley. That was like a bucket list show for me. I've watched so many of my heroes play on that stage. Used to love trying to get in there so I could see Vince Gill play. You know, you never know who you're going to see in there. Tom Bukovac, another one of my huge guitar, heroes. I can't play anywhere near as good as Tom Bukovac, and no one can. So, but if you ever get a chance to go see him, you should. But Third and Lindsley's always been a bucket list stage for me, and I got to play a few of my songs on that stage, and then I got to play rhythm guitar, sing backgrounds for my buddy Noah Smith for his showcase down there, and open up for the great Shelley Tackett. I've told you all before, she's one of my favorite songwriters of all time. If you don't know who Shelley Tackett is, go check her out. If you don't know who Noah Smith is, go check him out. If you don't know me by now, why are you watching this video? I'm just messing with you, but man, I am so pumped. Everything has just been awesome. That show was big. We had a lot of people show up for us, and we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming out to that show. It was an absolute honor to play for everyone there, and I am grateful that I got to be on the Third and Lindsley stage. It was just a nice check mark moment for me. But yeah, then a buddy of mine from Wisconsin, his name's Eric Hagan. We got to play a couple shows together, played a house show, and then we played a place in Corbin, Kentucky called The Train Station. And it was really good getting to hang out with him. I met him about 4 years ago at a little dive bar in Lexington, Kentucky called Al's Bar. And we played a show together then, and we've just stayed in touch ever since. And he hit me up and was like, hey man, we should play some shows. And wound up doing, like I said, a house show and playing that show in Corbin, Kentucky at the Train Station. The Train Station, by the way, is one of the coolest venues I've played in a while. I didn't even know it was there. I think it's kind of fairly new, but it's in this old like train station looking building, and it sounds amazing. So if you are looking for a show around Kentucky, find one at the train station and go check it out. But yeah, I got to play with Eric Hagan, and then we spent a day together and we wrote 2 songs together. And I didn't know this, but Eric had never co-written before, so I got to be like his first co-write. So Eric, thank you for trusting me to be your first co-write, man. Like that's actually pretty special for me, that you would trust me enough to open up with your songs and let me kind of in a bit on what you do. I think we got 2 really great songs, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Eric does with those. But yeah, check out Eric Hagan. Get on his Instagram and his Spotify and all that stuff and listen to all his stuff. He's got some really amazing songs. He's got a really killer song called Accuse Me. You should go check it out. If you like country soul, you'll love it. And then I've got a song that I love that he does called Memories. What is it called? Hang on, I gotta think of it. Memories Don't Love You Back. What a great title. We've talked about that on this channel before too. Like, what's a title that hooks you? What's a first line that hooks you right out of the gate? And that title got me immediately. He was like, this one's called Memories Don't Love You Back. And I was like, I can't wait to hear the rest of the song, because I'd never heard anybody say that before. So go check out Memories Don't Love You Back. Check out Accuse Me. And Eric, thanks so much for trusting me with your co-write. I'm happy that I could be the first one. We had a great time. And I look forward to seeing you soon. I'm going to be heading up in June to play another show up in Wisconsin with Eric. And also, I think we're going to hit the studio. I'm going to do some recording while I'm there, because Eric has an amazing studio up there. So I'm going to go up there, put some new music out. Speaking of new music, I've been writing with, I've been writing with Chris Bentley from Sunday Best, and we've been collaborating on some stuff, and we're actually going to put out some new music soon. We're actually going to do a photo shoot here. I guess it'll be today. You'll see this video later, and but the day that I'm shooting this video is the day that I'm doing a photo shoot with Chris for this project that we're doing. And I've kind of not talked about it a whole lot, and I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it right now, but we had a blast collaborating on all this stuff, and we wrote, we've written together, and it looks like we're going to be putting out some music together, doing a little collab. And that's one of my favorite things about this whole situation of quitting my job and doing music full time, is I wanted to be able to say yes to all the things. And Chris said, hey man, can we collaborate? And I said yes. And we've done nothing but try to figure out how to put out really cool stuff. And I will say this about, the tunes that we're going to put out. They're just like kind of a stripped down thing. We just went in a room, me and him together, and played a bunch of live takes, and then picked our favorite takes from the day, and we're going to release those. And I hope that you love them. And the date for that will be coming soon. The title of that and all the songs and all that good stuff we'll be talking about that soon. So stay tuned. But yeah, me and Christopher Lee Bentley, we're all, middle name guys around here. Matthew Douglas Simpson, Christopher Lee Bentley. We're going to have to figure out how to put all that on on an album artwork. We have to figure out how to make all that work. But really excited about that, and can't wait for you to hear this stuff. Like there's some special stuff in this collaboration, and we've been friends a long time. It's nice to finally be able to do this. It was nice to be able to say yes to it. But yeah, man. Also, this is crazy. So I played this show at Mama's Tap House. It's another little spot in Lexington, Kentucky. Mama is such a great person that loves live music, and more importantly, she loves really good live music. She's not going to book somebody that she doesn't think is really good. So it means a lot when she asks somebody to play at her establishment, and she's, for some reason, let a guy like me play there for the last couple of years. And I'm so appreciative and grateful of that. And but yeah, I was playing at Mama's, and it was one of those, like the last video I put out where I talked about there was a UK game going on, and then the dude got upset because I was playing over top of UK getting beat by 1,000,000 points, and I didn't like that. But I also played Mama's the same night that they lost to Tennessee. You guys should stop letting me play shows on game nights. It's apparently my fault because they got killed by Tennessee too. But I didn't play during the game. I didn't play till after. But you know how it goes. If UK loses a game, the whole bar is going to clear out because everybody's bummed out. Nobody wants to hear me play, my songs, and they definitely, aren't in the mood to hear, some upbeat song like "Don't Rock the Jukebox" or something. Like, they're ready to go home after that. And so a lot of people did. They cleared out. But it was amazing. A guy that I met last year who's become a big fan of my songwriting showed up midway through my first set at Mama's. And I basically just ended up playing to him and his wife, whatever they wanted to hear. And I played him some new songs, and because I knew how much he appreciated that stuff. And it ended up being a really cool night. And then he blew my mind. Because we're kind of kindred spirits. We love all things art. We like to read poetry. We like to read short stories. We love to read books. We love songwriters. We have a lot of our favorite songwriters we have in common. He's a big alt country fan. So we spent the night talking about Sunvolt and Wilco and Jay Farrar and all that good stuff. And then, we're also a huge fan of Mary Gaucher. And so we just got to fellowship and be together and talk about all our favorite things. But then he said, "Hey man, I got some gifts for you." And I was like, "What do you mean you got gifts for me?" It'd been my birthday. My birthday was March the 12th. And he brought in this bag, this really nice waxed canvas bag. And inside of it, I didn't know this, but these books, he self-published these things called the Capitola Review when he lived in Wisconsin. And it's it's poetry and short stories and photographers. I love photographers, all this really killer stuff from it's works from other artists that are really rare, right? Stuff that maybe they didn't publish or whatever. He tracked this stuff down, and he curated all these books called the Capitola Review, and he gave me every edition. It was a gift. So I've got all this really killer stuff to read and look at and ponder on, and it's already inspiring me, and but it's so cool to meet somebody who cares about art on that level, that he wants to share other people's art just as much as he wants to do art himself. He designed all the artwork for this, a lot of his photos. He's a photographer in this, but also just some really killer lyrics that maybe nobody's heard of from songwriters that he loves that maybe didn't get released or were about to be released at the time or whatever. Poems that maybe have been lost to the years that wound up in somebody's trunk, and a family member found it, and he chased all this stuff down and curated it, and it's amazing. If you can ever find any of these, the Capitola Review, you should. His name's Richmond Powers. But it was an honor that he gave, that he would give me these. These are all hand numbered, limited edition stuff, and I thank you so much for that. But he brought me a handmade, because I'm a songwriter. Sorry for the crinkling of this paper, but it's worth it. He has a friend that hand makes these journals, and he bought a few of them, and he only gives them to people that he, like friends that he wants to give them to. He's only got a few of them, this handmade leather journal, so that I can keep track of all my writing stuff while I'm out there on the road. Any good lines or any, just cool ideas I can write down in here and take it with me everywhere I go. So this is going to become one of my prized possessions, man. I really appreciate it. He also brought me like a vintage, like suede jacket. He gets me, like I'm a little bit of a man crush right now. I hope I'm as cool as he is one day, but it's so good to see fans connect with what I'm doing. But the best part is if you're a fan of my music or somebody else's music, you're probably also connecting folks to the art and the music and the poetry and the writing around you. You're introducing it to other people, and Richmond is one of those people, and he's already introduced me to so many great artists and writers, and I hope to be able to pass that along as much as possible. So Richmond, again, thank you so much for the gifts. It was amazing, and it just reminded me why in the world I keep doing this in the first place. And it's because you meet amazing people. So I think there's so much going on in the world right now that is negative, because that's what the TV and the media tries to tell you, is that everything is going to hell in a handbasket. It's not true. It's just not. Most people are like just getting through life, and all my neighbors seem like they're doing pretty good, and it's usually because they turned their TV off and stopped watching politics for an hour. There's plenty of really great positive things out there that you can focus on to help you get through, whatever the negativity is in your life right now. But I challenge you to turn off your TV for a little while and read a book. Listen to music, put some headphones on and really listen to somebody's songs. Buy a poetry book. If you've never been into poetry, maybe do that. Buy a photo book and look at the photos and go to a different place outside of your perspective. Pop your bubble a little bit. Things will get better. But also, you can't control what's going on in the world. If you're not going to dedicate yourself to changing things, then why criticize them? Why let it consume your life? If you're not going to do anything about it, quit letting it consume your life. I dedicated myself to writing songs and putting out art, and sometimes that lets me vent the things that are going on in my life, and maybe somebody will hear it and maybe it'll inspire them. But I also know that if I don't like something, if I don't put an effort in to change it, then it doesn't matter, right? We can get online and whine and cry about everything that's going on, but if we're not going to dedicate our life to it, like it's probably time to figure out something else to do. I don't know. I'm gonna get off my soapbox about that because I don't really care about all that stuff that much. I'm really more about let's just put out art and let it speak to people, and the right thing will happen. But I'm gonna wrap up with this. I just booked like 2 shows that I'm really excited about. I can't tell you what exactly what they are yet because they haven't been announced. But one of them is one of my favorite songwriters and artists of all time. It is a huge bucket list moment for me, and it's going to be in my hometown in October. So put October 4th in your calendars and plan on being there, and I'll put more details up as soon as I can announce them. But it's a big deal for me because it's literally one of my biggest influences, and I get a chance to open up for them. So yeah, put that in your calendar, October 4th, and I'll be putting out more details about all that stuff. Check me out on Patreon. I am getting ready to load that thing up with a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like I said, I've been in the studio with Chris. Got a lot of new stuff going on. Stripping room sessions is about to start. I've been working behind the scenes about all that stuff. And I am gearing up to maybe do a whole record in the studio towards the end of this year. So a lot of new music coming out this year. Stay tuned on all that. But a lot of great things are happening. Sorry it's taken me so long to get back on here. It's just been a whirlwind of really great stuff that I've been saying yes to. So if I can leave you with one thing, it's just, hey, if somebody offers you something that's a little outside of your comfort zone this week, say yes to it. Because you never know what's going to lead. It might lead into some really great moments for you that you need. Especially, you know, like if you are working a job that like you need and, you know, you're a little burnt out, you need a palate cleanser. So if you get the opportunity to do something cool, say yes to it and make the time work. Make it work out. Yeah, that's my best advice. Thank you all so much for watching this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Grateful for all of you. I can't believe I get to do this, and I'm grateful for every second of it. But I will see you on the next one, and I promise I will do these more frequently. Thank you all. Old Fitty's back. We'll see you next time.